Thank you, Mike.
Hi. It's a trying to reconnect, and of course, Dana Kennedy. She's wondering why I'm not going on here. Okay. Anyway, she's live from Nice. I am so excited today to tell you about my survival guide to a Mercury retrograde. The reason why I kind of ran in here with my hair flying is that in a Mercury retrograde, things just get discombobulated. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So one of the key points is sense of humor. So I just finished a client. I was right up against the elevator, ready to jump on, and then all of a sudden, they were moving somebody out of the building. So I had to run down like 10 flights of stairs, run 2.5 blocks so that we could record today. And what I was thinking was, of course, it's a Mercury retrograde. Now, the thing is this, in a Mercury retrograde, even though people think it's absolutely crazy, cannot happen, it just is a phenomena of the planet Mercury, which is the planet of communication, that goes backwards 3 or 4 times a year. And for most people, it creates havoc. Your internet goes down. If you have any gadgets, they don't seem to work. Communication gets weird. You think you're going to meet somebody at 2 o'clock and they have 2 o'clock the next day. You show up and you're livid. So when all these things happen, like contracts have to be signed, and if you sign a contract under a Mercury retrograde, every single astrologer will tell you that it's going to be really bad. It just won't work out. And there were times where I just did not listen. I hired people under a Mercury retrograde. I signed a contract under Mercury retrograde, and I talked to my clients about it, and sure enough, there's always a glitch. Either the person leaves, or there's something in the contract that I didn't quite understand, or the other party didn't, and so it's never a really beautiful flow. But being human beings on this planet and having to live here 24/7 during Mercury retrogrades, and if you're going to live 220 like I am, then you got to get used to it. You think like, oh my goodness, how can I reframe this and not make everything life and death? Because I've made a plan, and what's the saying? We make plans and God laughs. Well, you can make plans and then all of a sudden somebody puts their foot in it, they don't show up, it doesn't happen the way you really want it. So you just find that, oh, how am I going to get past this so that I can have that happy place inside of me? Because I'm here with the Aleta Alive broadcast from fabulous New York. Look, there's a boat that's going, can you see it? It's amazing. Right up the Hudson. My dad was a seaman, and I used to be in boats all the time, and so I love living in this atmosphere, especially if you're a healer. It just lifts you up. And that's what you need to do when you're in a Mercury retrograde. You need to get lifted up. Judge not by appearances. You can always say to yourself, is it going to matter in 100 years if I miss the appointment, if this person wasn't there on time, if my kids, are driving me crazy because they're not listening, our communication is off, the wonderful video and stereo I bought doesn't work. It's a Mercury retrograde. What you need to do during a Mercury retrograde is hunker in, clean out your sock drawer, get things in order, do the things that you want to really get organized for yourself. It's going over old things. It could be a wonderful experience if you just let go and have a sense of humor. So think about all the things that might have started going haywire as of August 30th. And I'm one for always visualizing, so if you've looked at my Facebook, you can see I was down at the Breakers in Palm Beach over the Labor Day weekend, and we spent some wonderful time with my dearest friend and the children's godmother, Aunt Chris, and we were getting on the airplane, everything seemed really great. I said, yes, ready, no Mercury retrograde problem. And then sure enough, I get this message while we're sitting in the seat, tarmac. bird hurt on the tarmac. And so 1 hour later, while they were getting the bird, we finally started to ascend. Sense of humor. 2 kids, gotta have a sense of humor in an airplane because there's nothing you can do about it. Now, what's the greatest thing that we can do for ourselves as we're going through these parts of our lives, whether it's a retrograde or it isn't, is connect to our highest source. Because our highest source is eternal. And if things don't exactly work out the way you want, or there's glitches, delays, miscommunications, you're at your wit's end, you need to connect to something that's greater than yourself, your source. Because when you're in alignment with your source, with the God, the universe, all there is, when you're in alignment with that, then no matter what's going on around you, you can put it into perspective. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Put your life into perspective, whether it's a retrograde or the planets are zooming forward and there's a glitch. It was supposed to be a certain way. You planned it, you worked on it, you visualized it, it was your dream come true, and there was a detour. In the ruins, they say the detour eventually leads to the destination. So you have to go, okay, let me put this into perspective. Let me connect to my highest source, God, the universe, all there is. And let me feel that divine love coming through me, which knows no limitation and is unconditional. Because that's really the source of your power. Not people around you, not situations you build up, but the reality of how you feel about yourself every moment. Whether it's a retrograde, things are moving ahead, you're getting married, you're getting divorced, you just landed a big job. It's all about connecting to source. And source is about love. Why does everybody want to be in love? Because you feel good. It doesn't bother you that the bills aren't paid, or somebody, took your parking spot, or things didn't quite work out, because you're in love. And so you can just let things go, like a dolphin. Think of that. Dolphins are in the water. They're just swimming. Someday you have to come on one of my spiritual adventures where we're swimming with dolphins. It's beautiful. The water just slides off their back, and then they play. And that's what you want to feel like your life is. It's focused, you have intention, you have purpose, but there's that sense of play and joyfulness. When things don't work out, shift up. I wrote a book, Life Shift, Let Go and Live Your Dreams. And this is called quick shifting. Shift and glide. Oops, Mercury Retrograde, I gotta shift and glide up. Let me connect to my source and see what I really want to create in my life. So the fact that I was an hour, later on the airplane and the kids were there, thank God, watching the movie, it all worked out. We got to the airport and we're here. And the same thing you need to look at in terms of your life. It all works out. In the end, it does. And then at some point, we make our transition. But you want to feel like you lived your life 100% in as much joy as you can while you're here. Because we've taken on a body so that we could enjoy and experience the physical things on this planet. And if we get tied up in worry and things having to be exactly right and glitches and all this other kind of stuff, we don't smell the roses. We don't get the joy of living in its most simplest form. So right now, what I want you to do is I want you to think about anything that's happened that's been a glitch since Mercury went retrograde August 30th. And maybe today's been one big old glitch, or yesterday was, or tomorrow will be. And I want you to just breathe and just feel like, you know what? I'm going to just let it go with the breath. and let it go into a gold light, because I'm all about light. Light is God. Light is a transformer. If you're feeling down, bring in gold light. If you're feeling lonely, bring in pink light. If you're feeling like you're not quite sure what's going on, electric blue, it cuts through fear and gets to the truth. It's your friend. Make life your friend. Life and light. I love that. So feel that gold light and just breathe out any stress, worry. Why aren't people calling me back? This is horrible. I hate myself. Maybe I'm not good enough. That's why they're not calling me back. That's ridiculous, okay? You're wonderful. You're magnificent. You just have to know that for yourself. So breathe. And then feel like we're hooking you up to your source, the God, all there is. Angels, beings of light. Feel it. And then what I want you to do is I want you to feel the energy transmission through my eyes and my hand. And just breathe it in. And breathe it into your heart. And say to yourself, feeling this divine love coming at you, I am loved. And feel that. And when you can feel that, it doesn't matter about these things that pass in the night or the day. It's about the divine presence inside of you, bringing you joy and love that you need to tap into every day. It's the relationship that you have with the divine. And that will move you and shift you out of the craziness, the emotional reactions of a Mercury Retrograde, and move you into life-shifting flow, acceptance, and joy. My love and blessings to all of you. And remember, you can connect to this transmission every day. It's in the archives. Use it as food, fuel for your highest spiritual evolution of consciousness. Aleta St. James.